Hotep, Black Power, giving honor to the creator, ancestors, my sister, father, in-laws, and all the ancestors in the ancestral realm, and to all my brothers and sisters out there fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. Today, what I want to definitely begin to create a platform where we begin to work on the issues of trying to find what kind of mental, emotional, spiritual, economical adhesive that we can apply to mend the black community, the black nation, the black race as a whole together. Because everyone knows, with the exception of us, that if we understand and find out who we are, that the entire planet will take in a whole different transformation, an exchanging of the gods, an exchanging of the wealth, an economic exchange, and redistribution of the wealth, redistribution and the release of so much information, knowledge, and history that has been not revealed to us for the purpose of keeping us under social control. But the sad part about the entire process is that we have accepted being blind. We have accepted being dumb. We have accepted being in mental, economical, financial, emotional, and spiritual bondage and slavery. We have never been free since we got over here. The Emancipation Proclamation, which Lincoln signed, wasn't signed for us to actually have our freedom and redistribution of the wealth, and we would have certain states, and we could still have been content with segregation, because integration was the worst thing that has happened to us, one of the worst things that has ever happened to us as a people. But the Emancipation Proclamation really didn't do anything for us, but gave us the power to walk around. And that's it. To be able to walk around without being asked for any type of freedom papers or anything of that nature. But we still are in that condition today, because when you're pulled over and asked for a driver's license or identification, what's the difference? It's the same lingo. The results are damn near the same, because depending on how the overseer or the slave patroller sees us determines whether we will make it home alive. And we have to realize this and stop trying to play like this shit don't exist. This shit exists within the black community. But yet we want to spend time talking about pyramids, having debates on who knows the most, what religion is the best, who's sleep. Instead of us having summits where information is laid out on a platform where we can determine who's in our best interest and who isn't in our best interest, that looks like us. Because we have so many people that look like us with melanin. They have melanin. They have a melanated appearance. with European behavior and a European mindset. Like I explained to you all about Barack Obama. He has a white mind. He thinks like a white man. And we still continue to make excuses for his deliberate neglect of the black community in the 8 years that he was in office. And we still make excuses for this type of behavior, which is not, it's unacceptable. You know, left up to me, off with his motherfucking head. Very simple. Very simple. You know, but us as a people, we have to learn to mend together. What is wrong with studying who you are? You are the original man and woman of the planet Earth. Everything that you see these crackers doing, they got it from us. Everything that you see them doing, they got it from us. It's called, get George G.M. James' book called Stolen Legacy. That everything that you think he's invented or is inventing, he got it from us. He got it straight directly from us. And during the times where our ancestors were in physical chattel slavery, all the hundreds and thousands of inventions that they made were taken from them. And they were given crumbs. But they weren't able to claim the invention. For example, the telephone. This Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Damn Hell. He didn't invent the telephone. You have to look and see which one of our ancestors invented the phone. Like I told you, I'm not going to continue to give you the questions and the answers to everything. You know, we're gonna have to stop being lazy and trifling mentally and start to read, start to study, watch DVDs. Leave all that counterproductive shit that comes on TV. Leave that shit alone. Empire, Power, all these police movies, you know, Live PD, Cops, you know, Dog the Bounty Hunter, who is an open racist, openly racist, to the point where he's not really allowed to do any bountying in the U.S. So most of the times when you see that cave dog on television, he's in Hawaii. Because he is the cave mountain dog. He looks just like a mountain dog. You know, the long hair. And he looks just like a mountain dog. Real Neanderthal Nordic features. And so the nickname of being given, the nickname of dog, fits him to a T. Fits him to a T. And so this is the only way we're going to acquire liberation in this country. Is that we have to leave the things alone that hinders us from growing, even with our foods. You know, we have to begin to eat green vegetables, raw vegetables, drink plenty of water, leave all that other garbage alone. Because as the great ancestor Dr. Sebi said, it's only one disease, which is called mucus. When you rid the body of mucus, you become 100% healthy. He says wherever the mucus land, they give it a name. If mucus land in the kidneys, they call it diabetes. If it lands in the liver, they call it hepatitis or cancer or whatever. But once the body is delivered from mucus, then there's nothing to diagnose except the clean bill of health. Because water is life. Water is life. 2/3 of the body is made with water. 2/3 of the earth is made with water. And it's supposed to be even. That's the way that you connect and vibrate with the universe. But if you got 10% water in you and walking around in a 75% planet that has water in it, you're gonna be unbalanced. So that's where your behavior starts to become irrational. Your thinking becomes so warped. And it causes a lot of confusion and trouble. But we as a people, we have to learn to stand straight up. Even the movie Black Panther, those sisters stood straight up. They weren't dealing with abortions and seeing which man that they were going to fuck, and none of that took place. And that's what you sisters have to get back in that mindset of, practicing what your ancestors, those great women, practice of standing up. Don't become a sex slave. Don't become a money slave. Don't become a money grubbing whore. Don't become a grocery slut. Eating to your feelings and all this bullshit. Yeah, we have to learn to be in the mindset of our great ancestors and begin, while we still have the opportunity of life, to do the things that are required with instructions from the Creator. Begin to have a love for self. Once you love yourself, you love everything around you. Family, community, nation, world, race. Marcus Garvey called it race pride. Where we were proud to be black. We were proud to be melanated people. We didn't practice homosexuality. We didn't practice pedophilia. None of that type of shit. Lesbianism. None of that type of shit was part of our being. Those things were incorporated to us by some select few that wanted to go along to get along with the oppressor for the sake of acquiring some extra trinkets. And it's the same way now in these government buildings, these government agencies, these alphabet boys. When they have their parties and they have the employees there only. That's why it's only employees, because they hold a lot of people to secrecy. Because just think, why do you have to take an oath to uphold and be hired for certain jobs in the federal government? That you have to take a solemn oath and be sworn to secrecy, that you will not reveal the things that take place in your work environment. And that's what they do. So they have accustomed to not choosing a very strong melanated heterosexual when they could get a melanated homosexual that they can control, that they can sex up at will, that'll do anything for a few extra bucks. Or they get the alcoholic sister they'll fuck the entire supervisory board just to be liked and just to get ahead and just to get a few $100 extra in your pocket. That you hand over your dignity to the oppressor. So you can be one of the sisters that has an expensive purse. You know, but to get that purse, you have to do some shit that a lot of dogs would not even engage in. You know, and then it's the same way in the entertainment world with the athletes and entertainers. That in order to maintain their status and their wealth, that they are required to participate in this particular ritual, that particular ritual. And it's quite obvious that you see what happens to those who buck against the system. Heath Ledger, murdered. Kurt Cobain, murdered. Eazy-E, murdered. Tupac Shakur, murdered. Lisa Left Eye Lopes, murdered. Aaliyah, murdered. And the list goes on and on and on. Nate Dogg, Bernie Mac, Isaac Hayes, Don Cornelius, Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina. And I just want to touch on something, some facts and some information I'm going to share with y'all pertaining to Bobby Christina. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go off to the side of the road for a minute with another subject. You know, she was murdered. She was beat to death because she saw and found out about Nick Gordon's homosexual activities in the home. And so she was so enraged. But Nick wanted to keep it a secret, in which she refused to. And so a fight ensued with where Bobby Christina suffered some serious, massive head injuries from this punk motherfucking Nick, I guess it's Nick Gordon. I guess that's that faggot motherfucker's name. And so what they did, they didn't charge him because somebody else was going to take care of Bobby Christina if he didn't do it. And he has money as a result of making Bobby Christina an ancestor. And we don't do anything about it. The Tupac Shakur murder. One of the most powerful young men of our time. Who the Bloods and Crips were going to hang their rags up, put on black, all black, and become Panthers. Otis Redding, same way. Otis Redding was like Sam Cooke. He owned all his masters, his label, his name. And so what did they do to Otis Redding? Beat him while he was on the plane and allowed the plane to crash. And Ben Carley, who tried to save the other brothers that were in the water, hasn't been right since. Has had massive heart attacks, massive strokes behind that situation. You know, and you know, it's very, very sad to see the shit that takes place. Let me back up. Prince, same way. Just think for a minute. Why do we let these people get away with this shit? Look what happened with Mike Tyson. Same situation. Sonny Liston and Mike Tyson had the same situations. They were invincible. You know, until Sonny Liston was beat by Cassius Clay, who became Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson, who was defeated by Holyfield. And then at the end, when they refused to throw fights, you know what happens. Tyson's daughter was drowned in my yard. In my yard. So, you know, brothers and sisters, I mean, we got a lot of work to do. We can't be sitting around, you know, wishing on a star, hoping that things will change without any application, without putting any work in. Because if we want, all we would have to do is go on a 30-day fast. The entire black race. Go on a 30-day fast. Lighting incense up all day long, each and every day. You know, and getting together and breaking bread. And that's why you see some of the brothers are healthy and some of them look toxic. Because the brothers that are healthy, you know, like Floyd Mayweather, LeBron James, you know, brothers that were physical specimens in superior condition, masters at their craft, committed, dedicated, true warriors. You know, so, you know, it's that time for us to understand who we are. Walking our own greatness. Look at all the female gods. Angela Davis. You know, and a bunch of other sisters. A whole bunch of other sisters. Because one thing I don't do, I don't feel sorry for anybody's situation if you are an adult. But if you're a little child or something of that nature, I'm going to be getting back with y'all shortly. You know, I really enjoy talking to you all. And I still have a couple of topics that I want to, you know, lay out for the community. You know, such as abortion, such as, you know, because infant mortality is the #1 killer in the black community. And we don't want to talk about it. You know, you sisters have to stop doing that. Stop killing your babies, murdering your babies. That's all it is. If you weren't viciously raped by a total stranger, I don't think, excuse me. Yeah, I think that if you are brutally raped, queens, you know, by a stranger, then that may be under, you know, an abortion may be suitable for that situation. But it have to be case-by-case basis only. But just to get it because you went to the club and, you know, you was faded and you wanted to fuck and all this stuff and you allowed yourself to get pregnated. And then you want to go and commit murder on the seed. You know, the Creator put certain situations, put certain people in your life for a purpose. For a definite purpose. I think that, you know, us as a people, I think we really want to do the right things. I think we really have good intentions in our heart, that we're willing to fight for our liberation and salvation, especially the younger brothers and sisters that are coming up. But at the same time, there has to be some leadership. A lot of you brothers and sisters, a lot of y'all have to get up and jump out there, you know, and coach these young motherfuckers. Because that's, you know, that's the glory of liberation and salvation, is when it's done in a joint effort, when we all work together, you know, towards a common goal. Because, you know, this cracker teaches the I, me. Just like the cracker that shot those children at the school. See, they isolated him. You know, but when it's us, if that boy was black, the whole black heterosexual male community would have been called all types of animals. And it's sad. It's sad. But until we meet again, brothers and sisters, I'll be right back with y'all shortly. Hotep, Black Power.